Hey all listeners, welcome back to part 3 now, Gran Turismo. So we're going to continue the race. And we did it with Opel Corsa before and stuff that. And now we're doing it with this one, with the Vision GT, the Chevrolet one of the Chevrolet ones. The one that they ended up buffing and stuff that. So yeah, I talked about how good it is, and how like the difference is just absolutely huge and stuff that, when you compare this to the Opel one. And then it makes no sense that with the Opel one, which is considerably weaker than this car, you cannot get away with using racing hards here, And then it never made any sense, as I said, to actually have, for the Vision GT races, to actually have an actual limit and stuff that on, or certain things. Now, one thing I am going to try out, by the way, we are going to try Land Cruiser and do a 600 pp setup for it, maybe, and stuff that, because, it could be really good if we could figure out a good, 600 pp setup for it, that could be, insane. If we can actually make a 600 pp setup actually work for it, and stuff that would be really, really good, No, it's the fuck your body music, No, fuck your Biden, no, fuck your Biden, no, fuck your Biden. Well, what are they saying? Oh, they're saying, blah blah. But, then it was the whole fuck your Biden thing, it came from the whole racing thing, right? There was a racing thing oh, what are they shouting? Oh, they're saying, the reporters tried to lie to the person what they were actually chanting and stuff that, and it was then like fuck you. I was good at that, and it was pretty fucking funny, I mean, he didn't know where he was anyway, and stuff that, and then oh, come here, you oyster bunnies, and stuff that, instead of Easter bunnies, fucking oysters. They said, oh, no, Biden's such a nice person. And stuff that, it's just yeah, such a nice. And I mean, supposedly they're gonna add a bunch more events, and the weekly races are gonna work differently. Now I'm a bit worried about the whole, what looks like it's online trials that you have to do or something like that, or online missions. Now, I'm pretty certain that it's not meant to be that, oh, you have to do actual online races against actual humans and stuff that you get some of the weekly bonuses, because I mean, that would be off-putting, especially due to the fact that you cannot do the races always, stuff that sometimes there's a wait time for them. And then if all of a sudden becomes oh, I have to wait for this specific race to start, then it's gonna become very, very annoying. I feel like there's might be people that don't even finish the weekly races because, oh, I don't like playing online, and now I get forced to do that for it to be good. If that ends up being the case, stuff that would actually be really bad. I can understand they want more people to play online, but that would be a bad way to go about it, I feel like, Because there are some people that are just going to refuse to play online, no matter what, and stuff that, or play, with other people, Now the question on the Land Cruiser, right, should we go with ballast or power restriction is the question, right? That is the main question, right? Because the thing is, should we be using sports hard or sports mediums and stuff like that? I know that you can get away with sports mediums sometimes, but sometimes, because with sports mediums you can do way faster times than you can with the other thing, yeah. I think you can use the overtake with this as well, so yeah. I wonder why it has the 03 number there specifically and stuff that, you know. Because this kind of seems like it's based on another actual Chevrolet car that there is a Gear 1. I think there is a Gear 1, like the you know, the Le Mans style cars, like the highest in Le Mans, whatever. I believe there is a Corvette like one or Chevrolet 1. And stuff that is similar looking to this, that is supposed to be racing or whatever, because yeah. Because I'm going to be curious about the Land Cruiser, of course, if the Land Cruiser can actually be used in the Tokyo 600 and how easy it is to win with and stuff that, you know. I definitely feel like in this game, right, there are certain races that just has like a ridiculous difficulty to it. Stuff that where it just feels like, oh, you need to go in and then use very specific settings on the car to win. That often feels like bullshit and stuff that, you know, which is why I always like dislike the Tokyo 600 and stuff that. Also because like for a long time I was at like level 59, or there are people who are saying, oh, you can reach level 50 within 2 weeks or whatever, right? And this was still no clean race bonus. But this was more understandable because I went past a certain limit. But I'm pretty certain when we made it open there, yeah, you can see the difference there. Like I was 9 seconds ahead of the Porsche, and I didn't drive super well there or anything, you know. So yeah. Yeah, let's actually change here then into the Toyota thing. I should probably change it into an individual then, right? Like I should use. Right, so add sheet, boom, settings to see? Okay, settings, that's the lowest again, lowest. No, change this to low. I don't know if this is just gonna be how you do it on most of the cars, but yeah. The main problem though is that we cannot change this to too high. They say that 1.5 is the highest you can have with sports hard. But is that just untrue then? Or is that just gonna be too much for it? Stuff that if I'm not using sports car hard, or is that with the tire thing complete bullshit is going to be the question, you know? Okay, and this should be 350 then. But yeah, I think, I don't know if I can even reach 350 or not, you know, but yeah. 600 PB. Okay, so this is with sports hard. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so that's worth 704, and that's just because of the tires. Right, yeah. I don't know if that would destroy the car normally with the normal settings or not, you know, if these settings would destroy it. So that's racing supercharged. Okay. So we need to get the, unless I want to be using comfort tires, but I feel like comfort tires is probably not going to be enough. Otherwise, right? How much do I get with the mediums here? Ah. I want to try and get away with sports hards here. So that's it. Let's get the... double check here also. Yeah, we got those. It didn't have that thing, okay. That would give it that many horses, okay. It's worth just very, very little. Like less, like it's not worth. So yeah, it's the LS7 or LS7 Rampage, which is one of those like special cars. Rust. Yeah, comfort you would get away with it actually. Some of that, but you know. $646.79. Okay. Yeah, that seems to reduce it way more per thing here, per point. So I'm gonna just do this one first here. Nah, it's probably gonna be way too bad. Because there's no way that it's gonna be reached 350 now with that many horsepowers. Let's set to 320 there instead. See how that goes. We're just gonna try a few things here. We might even be willing to go into comfort medium just to see how much. I think there's still the Tokyo 600, right? Yes, Tokyo 600 sports up. We're gonna try this out first here. See how this goes. Because we only have 754 horsepower, and I think. Yeah, 600 or less. And the fuel is not the bad thing, the other thing is the bad thing. So it depends also how quick will it use up the fuel. Let's actually use... I feel like if we use the brake thing, then there's a risk that we don't. This is four-wheel drive though, but we need traction control on it first. Can we get away with one? Now, if we have auto brake on, it's just going to be braking all the time, I feel like. I forgot if you could have ABS on here or not. If that just fucks things up, we will see here. So there is no auto drive there, okay. It's going to be interesting here to see. I mean, it still seems to be pretty quick, to be honest. Yeah, I probably need to actually tune it down, probably. We're just gonna go into the wall, of course. No. So this doesn't even reach 300 here. Because here's the thing, right? It might be that, you know, that it's, you know, like, because if I can get away with turning it way down, for example, then its acceleration is going to be even faster and stuff that, you know, which is going to be absolutely insane. You know, if we can get away with that, you know, and stuff that, because you can see already how quickly it's accelerating with this, you know, and stuff that, you know. The question is though, if say we went for comfort mediums, like how much extra horsepower could we have? I mean, it doesn't seem to have like actual handling issues and stuff that, which seems to be pretty crazy and stuff that. So let's see how early we have to brake here. It actually seems like its brakes are actually very good actually here. That was probably way too early to brake though. Maybe not. Its turn radius is not particularly good though. Yeah, this is just to test, right? A bunch of things, but yeah, you know. Because this is still with the leanest settings here. Because it might be that we're just running with way too high here, that we cannot even reach 300 probably. And you know what? We're gonna test with, because yeah, we couldn't even come close to 320 there. So if say we were to switch to comforts, okay. How many horses can we get away with? Can we get away with the full horses? Nope. Man, I want to really change it to 350, but I don't know, man. And that is with comfort mediums, then you can get away with comfort mediums. And we can almost get all the horsepower. Used like 4 away. So all the ballast is at front. Yeah. So do you change the back to block 2, the rear balance on the brakes? So we're using I want to see if 350 is possible or what the top speed actually is on it. Brake balance 2. Now we will see what is its actual top speed, so we know what we need to limit the thing to. Like, does it even work for Tokyo? See, that's the braking thing that is very, very annoying, that can actually slow down the car more than it should be. We did damage the engine there, which was a bit bad. Okay. So if that is the case, then that should mean that you should probably be able to set this to 310 and then not lose anything. Of that, if we do that. I'm gonna see even if this is possible to do this. Or if that will start breaking it too early and then, So it's a 310. Basic supercharger, torque. Because it would be nice if we could have another car to use instead of just using the Volvo and stuff that, Because this should still probably mean that we can reach over 300 probably still if we have it set to 310 or whatever. Or then we don't even need to reach close to 300 there. See, that's the main problem with if you actually want the car to brake and stuff that if you have the thing on. I just want to see how it performs here because, like I'm not going to waste too much time trying to do this if it's not going to work, and stuff that, I just want to test how it is, if it's like just braking way too much when you're running with this, and stuff that, because yeah. Because I know often you might say that, oh, if it's this far down, then it will never catch up, which is often true and stuff that, but we also don't know really how it performs when the weather changes. Because that always feels like the bullshit thing that now we go with the manual and then we drive this way and then we do short shifting and then oh look at this is so easy to win, you can easily win there and earn 1.2 million credits every time, look how easy it is with the steering wheel. And then they do a video, oh look at this is without the steering wheel and I'm still using manual, lol. And then you shouldn't have to use manual for every race. Instead, they should just remove manual from the game. You should never be able to use manual for anything, and then you shouldn't be able to use a steering wheel either. Look at this retard playing the game. Oh, look at how slow he is and stuff that. And then, yeah, I can easily win this if I use the right car, but I don't want to, you know. Because see, that's the thing that sometimes I drive the entire race just to see that, oh, maybe something happens, you know, and stuff that, you know. Stuff that, so yeah. If I were to turn this off, because it might be that the ABS sometimes needs to be turned off as well, to not have it brake all the time, or that you need to turn off ASM and the ABS sometimes and just have the traction control on. You know. But yeah, because why can you get away with it on the Volvo to have that many horsepowers and then like not have the cost be, or then not the PP being that high, you know, stuff that, because yeah. Now here's the thing that, for example, if you could use both halts on this and still have its full power, then that would be a pretty decent difference, but still, you know, it's just, you know, like what do you actually set the gearbox to and stuff that, you know, and you know. Because a lot of times, a lot of the whole strategies that people are using are like, oh, we use manual and stuff that, but then it's like, yeah, you should be able to win without having to use short shifting or manual and stuff that, you know, and then, you know, yeah, I can win with the Volvo and stuff that, but you know, then it's like no fun to always use the same car over and over and stuff that, you know. The main problem also is, for example, like you might not think that there's that much difference between the different tires, but that like changes like when you can brake in. But the main problem is that the brake zone is basically for the car's default values. It's not how early you need to brake. When you have upgraded the car, it always shows you the car braking with its default values, which is like really bad. So it will show you braking way too early. Stuff like that, yeah. Now the question is, let's say we go with power 1 here, how quick can we go with power 1 with no like leniency? Okay, wait a second. So we can almost... actually... But if we set it to 1.5 being highest, because we're only using pretty bad tires. Maybe we then need to bring this up, maybe to 40. Because we brought this down a lot. Up to 160 maybe. I don't know if that's even gonna work because we need to have it set to 1.3 because that's the maximum in comfort of sports tires. I forgot what the default value was there or not, you know, and stuff that, you know. Because yeah, can we get away with having no ballast at all? That is the question. We can get away with zero ballast with that. Could we get away with this though? For mediums brings it up to 613, okay. I don't know how viable that is, if this is enough. Was change here to set it back up to that, or if I should set it to higher then. Yeah, that just means that it's set too low here, the thing. The ride rate set too low or something maybe. Yeah, you can actually see when you're running the leniency 1 that it's just ridiculous. Yeah, but there's probably someone that's gonna figure out something because it definitely seems like maybe you could get away with power 1, maybe just that it didn't saw the correct thing at first there. Yeah, although it seems like very, very laggy and stuff there, but yeah. It definitely feels like it's something probably possible to do with this. There's probably some sort of setting here that could work, maybe. And I don't know if the correct thing is used to buff to increase this here, and then just increase this to the maximum. Whatever, I don't know. But then of course we cannot use these settings sheets because this is like too much. But that is with racing halls, of course, and that's used with these settings. But we already showed you that these settings actually work when it's just a regular race and stuff that, you know, so yeah, you know. But yeah, maybe there is a correct setting that you can use for it and then maybe it could work for that. Right, there's probably a way to optimize it like really well. Maybe you can get away with sports halts and then with certain settings and then still win easily, you know, so that's yeah. Or any new ones. I forgot if they add circle things often. How much was it again? It's 550,000, right, for this? 455k. Right, and it's not time limited, right? I mean, I know all the cars here are time limited, but this is limited stocks left on PS2. That's not limited stock yet. Yeah, that's ridiculous on that, but that still counts as a Gen 3 car. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's crazy that if you look at this, like, okay, like this weighs more turbocharged, but still if the horsepower, and then it's just like, okay, like it's 850 tune there and stuff that, and it's 850 tune and it cannot even use the whole, it cannot even use racing hards, and it's just like, why, you know, stuff that, as I said, you know, like it makes no sense that the Vision GT races are for that thing. Anyway, what could we get away with again for... I'm just gonna check here before we stop. But I know I've won all of these already and stuff that, you know, I've done this before. Because this is a 30 minutes one, and that can guarantee you 320,000 for 30 minutes. And it's 950. Wait, so that means... Racing halts. I could even slap on like racing mediums. And even racing softs, I believe, with that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's say we have racing mediums here, though. I mean, so we can use racing mediums now and stuff that, and we can get like a full, you get it full horsepower with 2037 horsepower and 1250 only in weight. Stuff that, you know, we can get away with using medium tires. Or even hard tires or soft tires or whatever we want, right? But, you know. But how long does the fuel last? Or is this just a case of, you know, okay, so let's say we're running again with here, and isn't this a track that we tested it on before, right? And we had no chance basically and stuff that because we needed to pit way more than opponents. And now it seems like we could technically get almost 8 laps, maybe even more. So this is still a break. Yeah. I feel like we need to break extra on purpose still, because otherwise it's not going to be breaking enough. But yeah, because I mean, if they make it now so this is doable with this car, for example, and stuff, that could be a big deal. If they actually did reduce its fuel consumption, you know, and stuff that, because, you know, I mean, it's still not going to be easy, you know, and stuff that, you know, but yeah, I forgot if they needed to pit at all, right? Because I'm pretty certain that this was one of those races where for example, we're pitting, where the main problem was that we needed to pit so often and stuff that, you know. And I feel like if this is true, that there's 8 more laps that we can do almost with it, you know, and stuff that, and that feels like that's probably going to be maxing the Gear 1 cars. And if we can match Gear 1 cars and still, you know, not have to come in early because of like tires or whatever, right? If we could get away, for example, with either using racing mediums or racing halls, then that would be a big deal. Because then they managed to make the whole purpose of this car is supposed to be that this is very, very similar to their real life, like Gear 1 car and stuff that, you know. So I'm pretty certain that they do have some sort of Corvette that is more like a Gear 1 car and stuff that looks a bit similar to this. Because I know that this is a vision card and this car doesn't technically exist and stuff like that, but still. I mean, I do believe that they made a mock-up of it, or they created like at least like a real version of the car, but like a non-drivable thing or whatever it was. But because I'm pretty certain that this was the race that we tried like several times, and I talked about like okay, these are the things they need to do with the car to make it work and stuff that, you know. And now you can see that that green thing there is lasting way longer as well. That I said was a thing they needed to do. Stuff that, you know. Because I don't mind like being this far back and then like having to like pass a lot of the other cars, you know, and stuff that, because yeah. Although again, right, that the LT drive again should be better, and then it should adjust to however you tune your car and stuff that, you know. Because it feels weird, like sometimes when you're doing it and then you have to still brake extra, that the amount it brakes is sometimes not enough. You see there, I almost went into the back of that car there because of that. And that's the Porsche that we're going to be able to get. I'm pretty certain that that Porsche there specifically is the one that we will get from doing the viewers testing. So I believe we will get that car on October 7th. That will be one of the cars we will be able to get. But in a special livery, I believe. That has to do with the nation that won, whatever it was. Because I mean, if they give us an easy version to do this, that's the Bugatti that always tricks me. Like, why do you have like Corvette-like colors on the Bugatti and stuff that, you know? I'm taking it very, very carefully here. The main problem is probably that the tires are not gonna last long enough. Probably. But I forgot also what the brake balance should be, because maybe we're running out of the back tires too quickly and stuff that, and then we should see the brake balance to be in the front instead, you know. Because even if we can make it use very, very little fuel, if then the problem is that we're running out of tires too quickly, you know, stuff that will be really bad, but yeah. Of course, we could do a pit stop where we only change tires and then we don't fuel up at all. Now that could be something we could do. I'm still recording, right? Yeah. Damn it, I'm gonna have to do another recording as well here, you know, instead of yeah. But I will probably need to change the racing halls, probably most likely, you know, instead of yeah. But it's just so strange, like why did they think the settings that it was on it before and stuff, that why did they think that was going to be okay, especially on a car that isn't electric, that is, yes, it's a hybrid because it still has, I still believe it does have an extra like electrical engine that gives you that extra amount of horsepower. And of course now it's actually lasting a long time, that extra engine there and stuff that, you know, that can give you extra horsepowers. Cool, and also the early pitters, of course, and remember before it was like what, like pit every 4 laps or pit every 5 laps or whatever it was. No. Yeah, we probably need to change the racing halts, and I probably need to actually change the brake balance to be front instead here. Maybe -2 front. So it's focusing more on the front, because the -2 there doesn't mean that it's like, it's just that you can see what it's going towards there. Stuff that, you know, so yeah. Because it's definitely taking on the back tires more, but it's taking more on the left tires for some reason, and I don't know exactly why. Oh yeah, it's a bit weird that we haven't captured the lead yet, but still, you know. Because we're basically going to be spinning this car if we let the tire run out completely and stuff like that, so we have to be careful. Which is why I'm trying to not drive too hard here and stuff like that, you know. I think we need to actually change this to more here. More aggressive about it. Brake balance. Because I know that that can affect how much you're taking on certain tires. Yeah, because I feel like there's no way we're gonna get those three laps, because we ended up using mediums instead of hards. But I'm trying to wait until they pit, basically, and stuff that, like if we need to pit early because we choose the wrong tires. Like hopefully we can be out 1 lap extra than they can. And stuff that, you know. And that's the Jaguar, right? That is the Jaguar one. One that was in older Gran Turismos as well. Yeah, which was an absolute beast back in those days, 88, yeah. I think we need to change brake balance again. We'll change it to there we go, so it's all on the front. But you see we're very close and running out on the tires here. This is why I'm trying to stay out as long as possible here. Okay, some of them are pitting out here, so it's the Gallo guy that can stay out for a long time. And I'm guessing he's using my Nissan. He likes to use that. He likes to use the same Nissan I have. Because it can just be so insanely good with how fuel, like even if you're using it with the turbo engine and stuff, that you can still make it consume so little fuel when you're running on the power lean 6. Okay, and it seems like we can get one more lap. This. without probably destroying the tires. Hopefully. Now we're gonna need to pit here now. Certain. That was just bad, and he's probably gonna come in now. Yeah, he is coming in. Okay. So we went in exactly at the same time. So we went in on lap 10. Or are we technically in the next lap? That's question. Okay, so or is this gonna switch to lap 11? Because otherwise we were on lap 9 when we pitted basically, and we come out on lap 10. Yeah. Yeah, we cut the previous line there, but that was when we exited because the car is too so fast. So now we're using racing hard, so hopefully with racing hard, so yeah, that's still set to front on the brake balance there. As you can see, it's set to the front there. Okay. Yeah, 52 minutes. So slightly over brake balance 5 front there. So I mean, hopefully with these we can make it last long enough and stuff like that, yeah. Yeah, so we probably should have started with hards. That we needed to slow down there. I don't know if that would make us lose the... Yeah, we probably already lost the clean racing bonus before, but still. You see, because the other cars needs to like pit way more often than we need to. Except for Gala, of course. But still. I'm pretty certain with this car, as I said before, that the whole point was supposed to be that it is supposed to be comparable to a Gear 1 car. That was the whole point of it, you know. And then, of course, if people do the Gear 1 race, that was the weekly race for that point. And they show you, and they show that, oh yeah, you have no chance of winning whatsoever, you know, and stuff that. You know, and stuff that then, oh, you need to nerf the car a shit ton to even be able to use it. But now we can use it like with its full power. And stuff that and still get away with it, you know, and stuff that, which is the really, really important thing. And then now that the battery also lasts longer, that gives it like more speed and stuff that, because otherwise, once that battery runs out, we're gonna have like way less speed, because obviously, so you know. But then maybe also, of course, we don't know. That looked weird. I wonder if that car did something on there when it went into the pit or something, or if it just looks like that. So, yeah. Because yeah, if I would have used racing odds from the start, and then I would have just set the brake balance up to what I had it set to, you know, and stuff like that. And if this car can used to win easy, then you know. Then all of these Gear 1 races all of a sudden become alternative ways to like earn money if you know, and stuff that, you know. Yeah, so we're gonna make one more part after this so we can finish this just and stuff that. So the final part is probably gonna be really short, by the way. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, so what? So that means that that. Is that even going to be 2 pit stops? Do we really need to do a second pit stop? Because if you think about that, that's absolutely crazy. Even with lean 6, because we do have its full power and stuff that, you know. Yeah. But if they're willing to buff this car, why not buff every single Vision car? You know, and I can understand not every single Vision car should be a GR1 car. Right, but then of course make it so that certain ones are at least comparable to GR2 cars and stuff that in terms of like just make all of the Vision GT cars consume like way less fuel and stuff that, you know. Depending on of course what GR class they're supposed to be in and stuff that, you know. Yeah, racing halls, you can see we're actually using very little on the tires and stuff that, like it's crazy. And I don't think there's any risk we're gonna get rain right, nope. Yeah, so you definitely want to set front and the brake balance, stuff that, and then you just have that by default. But I was using I'm not using the one that we're using the racing mediums or whatever, right? I should have used those settings or whatever ones that's specifically set to. Because of course it can get cloudy without any rain at all. That is also something that can happen, you know. Soon we have enough of a time distance to where we could basically make a pit and still come out in the lead and stuff that, you know, so yeah. Yeah, this just feels like very, very good and stuff that, you know. Yeah, before you would never think that, oh yeah, that's the Nissan one, yeah. It's not the Toyota GT1. I love the Gran Turismo 3, by the way, the Toyota GT1 was pretty good in that. I forgot if I ever got the Toyota GT1, I think it was in Gran Turismo 2 as well, probably. I need to drink a little bit more water also, by the way, before we do the final cooling session. I'm getting a bit of word now. I just wanted to double check the weather because sometimes, you know, so but it's just slightly over, like the main problem now is, of course, there's going to be a lot of cars being in the way here and stuff that, you know, and then it's very easy to lose the race bonus. Anyway, I'm going to see you all in what is going to be part 4, part 5, I think it is. Anyway, I'm going to go and get the water now, or drink some water, and then I'll be back.